What if I told you that one of these birds can recognize human faces, remember enemies for years, solve puzzles, and even use tools, while the other spends most of its life relying on instinct alone? At first glance, a crow and a sparrow might seem like just two ordinary birds. Both can fly, both build nests, both search for food every day. But when scientists started studying their intelligence, they discovered something shocking. The difference between these two birds is far greater than most people imagine. And by the end of this video, you may never look at a crow or a sparrow the same way again. Before we begin, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications for more amazing wildlife mysteries and animal intelligence stories. Now, let the battle begin. Part 1. The First Impression. Imagine you're walking through a city park. A small sparrow lands nearby. It quickly hops across the ground, searching for seeds, avoiding danger. Then suddenly, a crow lands on a nearby branch. Everything feels different. The crow watches, observes, studies. Its eyes move carefully across the environment, almost as if it's analyzing everything around it. And according to scientists, that's not far from the truth. Crows belong to a group of birds known as corvids, a family famous for extraordinary intelligence. In fact, some researchers compare crow intelligence to that of young human children. That's an incredible claim, but the evidence is difficult to ignore. Scientists have watched crows solve multi-step puzzles, use sticks as tools, drop nuts onto roads so passing cars can crack them open, then wait patiently for traffic lights before collecting the food. Think about that for a moment. The bird understands timing, cause and effect, and risk. That's far beyond simple instinct. Meanwhile, sparrows live very different lives. They are excellent survivors, fast, adaptable, and highly successful birds. But their survival strategy depends more on numbers than intelligence. A sparrow survives by staying alert, avoiding predators, and reproducing efficiently. A crow survives by thinking, and that difference changes everything. The memory test. One of the most famous crow experiments involved human faces. Researchers wore special masks while capturing and releasing wild crows. Later, the same people returned wearing those masks. The result shocked scientists. Years later, many crows still recognized the faces. Not only that, they reacted aggressively toward them. Even more surprising, young crows that had never experienced the capture event also learned to recognize those faces. The knowledge spread through the crow community. Imagine that. A bird remembering a face for years and teaching others about it. Now compare that with a sparrow. Sparrows can certainly learn, but there is little evidence they possess memory systems anywhere near the level seen in crows. The advantage clearly goes to the crow. Round 2. Problem solving. Let's imagine a challenge. A piece of food is placed inside a transparent container. The food is visible, but difficult to reach. What happens? Many birds become confused. Some give up, but crows often keep trying. They test solutions, explore possibilities, and adapt when something doesn't work. Scientists call this flexible problem solving, a sign of advanced intelligence. In some experiments, crows have completed puzzle sequences requiring multiple steps. One action unlocks another, which unlocks another, until the reward is finally reached. This kind of thinking requires planning, patience, and understanding, traits rarely seen in most bird species. Sparrows? They are smart in their own way, but when it comes to complex reasoning, they simply cannot compete with crows. Social intelligence. Now the battle becomes even more interesting, because intelligence isn't only about puzzles. It's also about relationships. And this is where crows become truly extraordinary. Crows live in complex social groups. They remember allies, recognize rivals, and respond differently depending on past experiences. Researchers have observed crows forming long-term social bonds, sharing information, warning one another about dangers, and even appearing to hold grudges. That's right. Some evidence suggests crows remember individuals who treat them badly. Sparrows also live in groups. but their social structure is generally much simpler. They cooperate when necessary, yet they rarely display the same level of social complexity seen in crow communities. And once again, the crow gains another advantage. But the most surprising comparison is still ahead, because the next category may be the one that decides the winner once and for all. So the next time you see a crow, don't just see a bird, see a mind, a creature capable of remembering faces, solving problems, using tools, and making decisions that still amaze scientists today. And when you see a sparrow, remember that intelligence isn't the only path to survival. Because while the crow survived by thinking, the sparrow survived by adapting. 2 birds, 2 strategies, 1 fascinating battle. But now, we want to hear from you. If a crow and a sparrow were placed in an intelligence challenge, who do you think would win? The crow or the sparrow? Write your answer in the comments below. And here's another question. Which bird should we compare next? Crow versus owl? Crow versus raven? Or crow versus pigeon? Tell us below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because the next crow mystery might completely change the way you see these incredible birds. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.